Hello, sixth grade. I want to walk you through how to do your presentation and to let you know that what I'm going to show you is actually in your classroom feed. If you go to classwork underneath, this is step 6, presentation. Step 6, presentation. All right, so when you get your presentation, you're going to start a brand new presentation and put your name in that, up in the corner of the title. Then you're going to find your original music genre project fact sheet. Do you remember that we put some graphics on that sheet and we did some things? So then you're going to, what you have to do is we want to attach that here in your presentation, and we'll talk about how to do that in just a minute. And then you're also going to do a title slide as well. And if you go to present mode on this next slide, you'll see some really fun things that'll happen. All right, so here we go. So there are lots of fun things that you can try. All right, so for example, did you see those stars pop in there? That's one thing you can do. All right, you can add some graphics. You can color your text boxes different colors. Make sure, however, when you do that, that your lettering is able to be seen in the text. For example, in this purple, if I just use black text, it's really hard to see. But I've used some yellow text, and so it's a little bit easier. All right? If you look up in the red box up there, I've used some white text, and that's one thing that you can do as well. So let's talk about this. Again, you can add background color to the text. You can add animation like I did with those stars. They popped in. You can outline your text box with a thick line or a thinner line. You can even tip your text box, okay? All of those things can happen. You can change the font, but make sure that it's able to be read. Some fonts are really difficult to read, and you want it to be as easy as possible for other people to read. You can add some graphics like this star or this word box or an arrow or a smiley face. There are all ways to do that. You can change the shape of your text box. Look how the orange one is more vertical than it is horizontal. And then I've added a GIF. Do you see the GIF up there of that's happening? It's kind of a fun thing to do. If you're not sure how to do any of these things, please come see me on Hangouts. I'm there every afternoon after 2:30, and you can come talk to me till the time the buses or your cars would normally get here, which would be about 4:30. Come and ask me questions, okay? I love to do these things, and I think they make presentations a lot more fun. So those are some fun things to try. But you want to be careful to avoid some things. You can add a theme to your presentation. Let me show you. You can add all sorts of things to your presentation. Let's say I want to add this theme. But look what happens. Now I can't read all of the words. All right? So you want to avoid doing those kinds of things. I want to go back up, and I don't want to have a theme. All right? So you want to be careful when you're adding these themes over here to make sure that it doesn't disrupt what you're trying to say. And it gets added to every single slide. Okay? Not just one slide. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to click off. Okay? So you want to be careful that you're not adding that theme if it distracts. I don't mind if you put a theme in, but if it distracts. You might want to instead just color the box, and that's where you go up here to the word background and choose a color. Let's say I want to color it this bright blue. And then it only colors, if you look over here on the side, you see how that only colored that one box? So that's something you can do. Now I don't need that to be colored, so I'm going to take that off. But you can play around and have a little fun with that, okay? Make sure that your text is able to be read, especially if you change the background color. You need to be doing it. You can see here, let me go back to present mode so it's a little bigger. You can see here graphics. You don't want to put in graphics that don't fit with what you're talking about. If you're talking about something sad, you don't want to put in a smiley face. If you're talking about something over here, you don't want your arrow pointing that way. So make sure your graphics fit with what you're doing. Here's a font that's very difficult to read. You can look at that when you've got it open on your computer. And then don't add too many things to one slide. You want to keep it simple. This slide actually has way too much stuff on it, but I wanted to get all those things in there to show you different things to do. All right, so this is my original slide from my project fact sheet, and I imported it over. How do I do that? Well, it's very simple. You go up here to File, click on that, and slide down to where it says Import Slides. And then it will give you the opportunity to look at all of the different slideshows that you have. Okay? Somehow my Chrome isn't working real well today. I don't know what's going on. And then you can just click on that slideshow and then click on the slide you want to pull out and put in here. Now the other thing I did as I was preparing this is my essay. This is the whole essay. And I put it here so that I could, what do I want to put on my slides? Because I don't want to put just what's in the essay. That doesn't make any sense. All right? So then I highlighted in my essay some of the important things that I thought was important. So now I'm actually going to start my essay with my title slide, and here's my title slide. Let me go back to present so you can see it. Okay? So this is just a box that I have on the side. You don't have to have this box on the side. This is just some instructions. All right? You can make it the whole side. But I have a neat graphic that says country music, and then in really large print, in fact, 60 point, I have the words country music, and underneath in a little bit smaller point, from the USA to the world. That's my title slide. All right. Again, these are just instructions, okay, to help you out. So now I chose some graphics that help tell my story. Country music is American through and through. See the flag? It began in folk music and hillbilly music of the early 20th century. So I have a folk music graphic and I have a hillbilly music graphic. Okay? And I just went out to Google and typed in hillbilly music and then hit images, and that's where it came from. The instruments played give country music its unique sign. Now, these words that are down here are my words. I put them in. If I click on that, you can see, oops, I forgot I'm in present mode. Out of present mode, if I click on that, you can see my text box. There it is. I also have a text box up here. Okay, but this came all on the picture. All right? You only want to put a label. I could have put something like the instruments of country music, like the bass and the mandolin and the band, but that's all there already, and I don't need to add it again. Okay? So just a short little label. You're going to talk about the instruments, how a banjo gives country music a special sound, and the harmonica that somebody plays with their mouth. All of those things. Then the Grand Ole Opry was a part of my essay, and I talked about it. Again, these are directions for you. They would be out. To play the Grand Ole Opry is the pinnacle of being in country music, and to be inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame, into the Grand Ole Opry, is the Country Music Hall of Fame. So I put this picture that represents the Grand Ole Opry. Okay? And then the song that I chose was the song The River by Garth Brooks. So here's a picture of Garth Brooks, and in fact, this is his album cover that includes um, the song The River. And then these are a couple of graphics that take some of the words of the song and put them out there for us. And then my label that talks about the song as well. Now, when I give my presentation, if I were to give it to you, my class, I probably would actually have the river linked on this slide. I'd put a little link down here in the corner, and then I would pop up the music so that you could listen to the song as well as be told about it. And then I did a concluding slide, just like you do in your essay, so that everybody knows that my presentation is done. Now, other than on the Garth Brooks slide, which I didn't even do it there, I didn't say anything about my presentation, or, and that's what my presentation is, or thanks for watching my presentation. No, I ended it with the music that touches the heart of the world. Okay? So there you see how I used a graphic, the heart. Okay? What I'm trying to get across to you, boys and girls, is that I want you to work on your presentation, but I don't just want you to dump from your essay into the presentation. I want you to pull out those really good facts so that I can give that presentation to you as the class. And that's what we're going to do after Christmas. All right, so take your time, have some fun, but make sure that you're following what you have in your essay, the information from your essay, when you make your presentation. Because I've read your essays. I know what should be in your presentations. All right? All right, have a good day, 6th grade. I'll see you soon. Take care.